My office, dark. The silence is almost deafening, broken only by the occasional click of a mouse or the soft tapping of keys. The world outside is asleep, but in here, the night is just beginning. Only the glow of monitors. They cast an eerie light, illuminating the room in a cold blue hue. Each screen a window into a different world, a different threat. The digital landscape is vast and unforgiving. Lines of code, a digital fortress, each line meticulously crafted, a barrier against the unseen enemies lurking in the shadows. The code is my shield, my weapon, my lifeline. It's a language only a few understand, but it speaks volumes. My job to keep the bad guys out. Hackers, cybercriminals, digital spies. They're always out there, waiting for a moment of weakness. I can't afford to let my guard down. Every keystroke, every command is a step towards securing the fortress. Night after night, the same routine. The hours blend together, the days indistinguishable from the nights. It's a relentless cycle, but it's necessary. The digital world never sleeps, and neither can I. The hum of the computer, a constant companion. It's a soothing sound, a reminder that the system is alive and functioning. But it's also a reminder of the ever-present danger, the constant vigilance required. My eyes strained, searching for any sign of the breach. Every flicker, every anomaly could be the start of an attack. The pressure is immense, but it's what I signed up for. The stakes are high, and failure is not an option. The weight of responsibility heavy on my shoulders. It's a burden I carry willingly, knowing that the safety of countless individuals and organizations depends on my vigilance. The digital watchtower is my post, and I stand guard, ever watchful, ever ready. 3 a.m., the loneliest hour, the world outside asleep. But here in the digital world, threats never rest. Coffee, my only fuel. My eyelids heavy. The cursor on the screen blurring just a few more hours. Then I could surrender to sleep. A growl in my stomach. I hadn't eaten since dinner. Focus waning, I needed sustenance. Pizza, the perfect solution. Rain lashed against the windows. The wind howled. A delivery, a welcome interruption to the monotony. I placed my order. A knock, sharp, startling. I wasn't expecting anyone. Peering through the peephole, I saw him, the delivery driver, his eyes hidden beneath the brim of his cap. He held the pizza box, his other hand empty. No smile, no greeting, just a blank stare. Unease crept up my spine. Something wasn't right. His gaze felt heavy, intrusive. I opened the door, a sliver. "Just leave it on the step," I muttered. He didn't move. His eyes, like ice, seemed to bore into me. Silence stretched between us, thick with unspoken tension. He took a step closer. My hand instinctively reached for the door, ready to slam it shut. He held up the pizza box, a peace offering. "Your pizza, sir," he rasped, his voice low and gravelly. Reluctantly, I took the box, my heart pounding in my chest. He didn't wait for a tip. Didn't say another word. Just turned and disappeared into the storm, the red taillights of his car, a fading memory. I closed the door, the lock clicking shut. My hand trembled as I placed the pizza on the table. What had just happened? My eyes fell on the pizza box. It was an ordinary box, the kind you see every day, but something about it felt different. The room was dimly lit, casting eerie shadows that danced around the box. I reached out, my hand trembling slightly, unsure of what I might find inside. Scrawled across it in black marker was a single symbol. It wasn't just any symbol, it was intricate, almost mesmerizing. The lines were sharp and precise, as if drawn with a purpose. I couldn't take my eyes off it. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, drawing me in. A circle with a dot in the center, an ancient symbol, protection or a warning. I shivered. The pizza forgotten, my appetite gone. The symbol seemed to hold a power over me, a power I couldn't understand. I tried to recall where I had seen it before. Was it in a book, a movie, or perhaps a dream? The more I thought about it, the more elusive the memory became. The symbol burned into my mind. What did it mean? I couldn't shake the feeling that it was important, that it was trying to tell me something. I felt a chill run down my spine as I stared at it, my mind racing with possibilities. Was it a message, a sign, or something more sinister? I knew I had to find out. I couldn't just ignore it. The symbol had taken hold of me, and I had to uncover its secrets. The room seemed to grow colder, the shadows darker, as I continued to stare at the symbol. It was as if the world around me was changing, shifting in response to the mark. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for whatever lay ahead. This was just the beginning. The storm raged on. The rain pounded against the window with a relentless fury, each drop a tiny hammer striking the glass. Thunder rumbled in the distance, a low growl that seemed to shake the very foundations of the building. Lightning flashed, illuminating the room in brief, stark bursts of white light. But the silence inside my apartment was deafening. It was a silence that seemed to press in on me from all sides, a heavy, oppressive weight that made it hard to breathe. The only sound was the ticking of the clock on the wall, each tick a reminder of the passing time, each second stretching into an eternity. Every creak of the floorboards, every groan of the old wood seemed magnified in the stillness. It was as if the house itself was alive, shifting and settling in the darkness. Each sound was a reminder that I was not alone, that the house had a life of its own, a presence that watched and waited. Every gust of wind against the windows, every rattle of the panes sent shivers down my spine. The wind howled like a living thing, a mournful wail that seemed to echo my own feelings of isolation and fear. It was a night that seemed to stretch on forever, a night where sleep was an impossible dream. Sleep eluded me. I lay in bed staring up at the ceiling, my mind racing with thoughts and fears. The darkness seemed to close in around me, a suffocating blanket that left me gasping for breath. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, each beat a drum that echoed in the silence. The image of the driver, his eyes, haunted me. Those eyes, cold and calculating, seemed to bore into my soul, stripping away my defenses and leaving me exposed. I could see them in my mind's eye, staring at me with a malevolent intensity that made my skin crawl. The symbol on the box replayed in my mind. It was a symbol I had never seen before, a strange, intricate design that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. I was alone, yet I felt watched. It was as if the symbol itself was a pair of eyes, watching my every move, waiting for the right moment to strike. The feeling of being watched was overwhelming, a constant presence that made it impossible to relax. I could feel the weight of those unseen eyes on me, a pressure that made my skin prickle and my heart race. I knew I was alone in the apartment, but the feeling of being watched was so strong that it was almost tangible. It was a night that I would never forget, a night where the storm outside was nothing compared to the storm raging inside my mind. Dawn eventually broke, chasing away the shadows, but the fear remained, a constant companion, whispering in the back of my mind. The delivery, the driver, the symbol, just a strange encounter, or something more sinister? I didn't know. And that was the most terrifying part of all.